Good afternoon, everybody. Coming on because I just want to do a short video. It's a beautiful day outside. Sunday, sun is out, in and out. But to 2020 has been a tough year so far, and it's not over, to say the least. There's been so much loss that we have experienced. Loss of loved ones, loss of your jobs, loss of your our way of life, of normalcy. It's been a lot of loss. And I was sitting today and I was really, for the last couple of days, I just been thinking about grief, especially when we lose someone we love. Grief can be brutal. And I was watching Super Soul Sunday on network, and this lady was talking about, how she walked through the process of, or how she is still dealing with the process of losing her husband, that grief, the grief. And grief can be brutal. I mean, brutal when you lose a loved one. And it's important that when we experience grief, that we allow ourselves the space to feel whatever it is we're feeling. There is no guidebook, there is no procedure document that tells you how to go through grief or how to walk through grief, because it is different for everybody, and it's different depending on what kind of grief you're suffering at the time. If you're grieving the loss of your husband or your significant other, your wife, if you're grieving a loss of a child or a parent or a brother, sister, or a cousin, all of that is different because they're different. They serve different relationships. They serve different purposes in your life. So it's all different. But whatever loss you're suffering, allow yourself the space to sit in that and process those emotions and feel it. Most of the times we don't want to feel it. I would rather give birth, if you're a mother and you gave birth, childbirth is like the worst pain ever. But I would rather feel the worst physical pain than to feel the emotional pain of losing somebody that I love. That is something who wants to go through that, because not only you have to process those emotions as far as you lost somebody you love, but you also, depending on their relationship with you, your relationship with them, or you have to retrain yourself to operate when there's a space that's void. You have to retrain yourself. So it's not just only dealing with the loss of that loved one, but it's also learning to live without that person physically there. So that's a whole nother set of emotions. And so you go through a range of emotions. So I know when I lost my great grandmother, I went through a whole range of emotions. I mean, sometimes I felt it came in waves. Sometimes I felt like I was walking around in a fog, that it followed me everywhere. But I think that I tried to push it down. I didn't deal with it. I tried to push it down because at the time I was in the middle of finishing up my degree, And I was, a single mother with little kids, and I tried to push it down and keep going. But in the meantime of me pushing it down, I um, strike out at my kids, or just we think we pushing emotions down, and we're not dealing with it, but they always come pop back up in some type of way. I mean, sometimes we push it down through food, we overeat. Sometimes we push it down through alcohol, drugs, sex, shopping, gambling, whatever way we try to numb those feelings. That's what we used to do. But I implore anybody that is going through any type of loss, a loss of a marriage, a loss of friendship, a loss of the way that your life has changed, loss of loved one, to process, allow yourself the space to process, to sit in those emotions and process and feel those. I don't think you heal from grief. I don't think you ever heal from losing somebody you love. You just learn to live with it. You learn to live with it. You learn to look at them and remember the good times and smile. But sometimes you're still gonna feel sad. You know what I'm saying? You are, but whatever you feel, allow yourself to feel that way, and give yourself space to feel and respect your emotions, because if that's how you feel, then that's valid. You know what I'm saying? Don't beat yourself up because you feel like, well, I shouldn't. It's been so many years and I'm still feeling like this. Don't beat yourself up, because it's a process and everybody's different. Everybody's different. Just allow yourself the space to feel whatever you feel, and respect your emotions, and respect yourself and how you feel. And for those of us who know somebody who's dealing with grief, who have suffered a loss, a lot of times we don't know what to say. You think, well, I don't know how you feel, or in your mind you're saying, I don't know how she feels, or I don't know how he feels. I don't want to say nothing because I don't want to re-trigger or have them think about something. But the best thing that you can do is acknowledgement. Reach out to your loved one that's experiencing grief and say, I know you're hurting. If you need me, I'm here and we can get through it. If you want to talk, we can talk. If you don't want to talk, I'm here. If you just want to sit, I'm here. If you call them and they don't answer the phone, don't take it personally. They might not want to talk. They might be going through an episode where they're in the process of grieving and crying, and they can't talk. They don't want to talk. But don't take it personally, and don't get mad at them because you feel like they should be at this level and they're not. The best thing that we can do is just acknowledge, I know you're hurting. I'm here for you if you need me. I'm here for you if you want to talk. We can get through this together. Don't pretend like ain't nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? Just acknowledge their pain and acknowledge that they matter in your life. That no matter what they're going through, or no matter what they're feeling, that you are here to help them, to be with them, and to walk them through this process, and let them know that they are not alone. That they are not alone. That they have friends and they have loved ones that can help them to get through the process. Can you make their pain go away? No, you cannot. You cannot fix everything, but you can be there to help, and be there to just be a friend, and just shower them with love, because you love them. So I just wanted to come on here and say and just encourage everybody, because this is has 2020 has been a rough year, and it's not over yet. But it is a year where we're forced to sit, and we're forced to go within, and we're forced to reflect on ourselves. I think we spend so much time worrying about what other people's doing, or what other people need to be healed, or this and that. But we have to heal ourselves first. When we heal ourselves, you know what I'm saying, things different, things change. You look at stuff different, you understand, you have more empathy, because you understand that whatever trauma you're having to go through, or whatever loss you're having to work through, somebody else is having to deal with that as well. You never know what people are dealing with, and we all have things that we need to heal from, and we all have issues that we're trying to process and get through. And we can do it together. We can grow together. We're not all going to be on the same page. We're not all going to be on the same level. But at least we can have empathy, and we can say, you know what, I feel you and I understand. I may not understand because I haven't felt that, because everything we're not going to understand. But you could say, I can understand that. I could see you hurting. And, I see you hurting, and I acknowledge your pain, and I'm here for you if you need me. And that's what we can do to help each other, because this is a year where a lot of pruning is happening. A lot of pruning, a lot of, whatever no longer serving us is dropping away. It's dropping off. You kind of getting the idea of who's really, really there for you, because this is a tough year. It's a tough year. So, but we have to be healed. We have to take care of ourselves first. We have to love ourselves first. And by loving ourselves, it's not saying you're being selfish. It's not saying that you don't care about anybody else. It's saying that, you know what, I got to make sure I'm good, and that my mind is straight, and that I'm emotionally good, and that I deal with myself and my trauma right, so that I can be good, and I can be solid, and I can be a foundation to help you. You know what I'm saying? Because if I can heal and go through that process, then I can share with you. This is what I've learned. This may help you. You know what I'm saying? So just stay strong, stay prayed up, meditate, spend time outside, spend time with yourself. Just sit with yourself, sit with your feelings, love on yourself and love on others. But most of the part, just love on yourself and just be grateful. An attitude of gratitude, like, be grateful when you open your eyes up, and you can see, and you can move, and you can talk, and you can pick things up, and you look around, and you got your family there, your loved ones you can pick up and call, because you never know, like, when the last time, like, it's time out for, like, you never know when it's your last time talking to somebody. You never know. We known this for years. You never know when it's your last time. So just wake up with an attitude of gratitude and just live in the moment. You cannot do anything about the past. You can't go back to the past, and you can't change it. You know what I'm saying? You can, if you hurt somebody, you can ask them for forgiveness. You can forgive yourself, and then you just move forward. But be mindful, live in the now. Do not live in regret, because regret leads to guilt, and it leads to shame. And those are emotions that we do not want to deal with. If you feel it, process it, Sit down with it, and then understand where it came from, and then let it go. Let it go. It's important that we learn to be grateful for where we are in life right now, and find joy in whatever you can find joy in. Find joy, because joy is something that is not dependent on external circumstances. Happiness is dependent on somebody making you happy, or you doing something to make you happy, but joy is on the inside. So find that joy on the inside. Be happy with yourself and take care of yourself, and allow yourself to feel whatever you feel. Respect your emotions and acknowledge your emotions, and let them pass and let them process. It's not a good feeling to process your emotions. It's not, but it's necessary to go through that process to get to a good place. So I'm gonna get off because I know everybody watching, waiting to start the church services and things if you haven't already. But I hope you enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. I love y'all. And remember, take care of yourself, because you can't pour from an empty cup. All right.